Hi there, I'm Matt from Gooply, and I'm joined by my buddy Tim, and we're reviewing the Pixel 6.
I'm a longtime Android user.
And I'm a longtime Apple user, so this will be a perspective from both Android and Apple users. Alright, let's get right into it. I've often carried around two different devices, and my last Pixel device was the Pixel 4 XL before upgrading to the Pixel 6. I've always been a fan of Pixel devices because Google makes them and they get the software updates first. As for my Apple device, I carry around an iPhone 12 Pro.
I've been using Android for the past 10 years and have used a wide variety of phones, including the Nexus line, First Pixel, and OnePlus 7T. Pixel has always been the pure Android experience phone, and I've always recommended it for those looking for a pure Android experience. As some of you know, last year I switched from Android to iOS to get a full review, and I was very impressed with how iOS operated. But since that review, I have been on Team Android.
Well, I wasn't impressed with the unique camera design at first. It did grow on me. The camera design is completely different from what other phone manufacturers were doing, and it made it stand out in public. I was worried about the camera bump, but my fears were shortly put to rest after using it for a few days. It doesn't bother me besides the fact that it collects dust on the top and bottom of the camera bump. As far as the camera taking pictures, I feel like the Pixel 6 has always taken the best photos. The Pixel 6 takes much better photos in low light than it did on my Pixel 4 XL, and I feel like it did better than my iPhone 12 Pro. One of my favorite camera features introduced in Android 12 was removing people from photos with the Magic Eraser. I also discovered Color Pop, which allows you to make an object color while the rest of the picture turns black and white. As far as video, I feel like the camera is about the same or similar to the Pixel 4 XL, and I can't tell a difference, and it didn't really wow me. I feel like the iPhone 12 Pro still takes better video. Overall, the Pixel 6 camera captures more light and better detail in a much needed upgrade.
The camera, in my opinion, is okay. I don't typically take photos on my phone, so I can't fully comment on it. But the camera is fine. I like having the ability to take wide-angle photos. Portrait mode is really cool and does a great job at making photos look more professional.
I was pretty excited to hear that Google released its new Tensor chip for the Pixel 6 lineup, and I noticed a considerable difference between the speed versus the Pixel 4 XL. The Pixel 6 is a 6.4 FHD display with up to 90 Hz. The Pixel 6 is significantly bigger than my iPhone 12 Pro, and the size of the phone feels comfortable in my hand. While I would have liked to have gone with 120 Hz to screen, the Pixel 6 Pro felt a little less comfortable in my hand. I don't understand why Google uses a fingerprint scanner instead of Face Unlock. One of my favorite features of the Pixel 4 XL was Face Unlock, and Google has been mostly silent on this topic, while other competitors such as Samsung, OnePlus, and Apple continue to use Face Unlock and Face ID. While I've played around with other under-the-glass fingerprint scanners, Google missed the mark on this feature. The fingerprint scanner is horrible, and I often have to enter my password manually because the scanner doesn't recognize my fingerprint. I'm using a Google-approved glass screen protector. I've tried putting in my finger multiple times, and while I found that helps a bit, it's still a lousy fingerprint reader. After the January software update, I noticed that it was faster when the scanner recognized my fingerprint.
This phone has 5G, and this being my first 5G phone, I can say that speeds are at times impressive, despite living about 17 miles outside of downtown Seattle in a suburb neighborhood. The speakers are great and make scrolling on TikTok for hours way more enjoyable. And the 90 Hz screen is awesome. With a bright and colorful AMOLED screen, this is an awesome display. The phone itself is snappy. Switching between apps is quick. With 8 gigs of RAM and running on the brand new Google Tensor, it's an overall very quick phone. The fingerprint scanner is slow. Sometimes takes 4 tries before I end up just entering my pattern to unlock. And the lack of a face unlock in 2021 is sad.
Google claims to have more than 24-hour battery life with the Pixel 6, and while I wasn't impressed with the battery life in the beginning, I found that the Pixel 6 learns how I use the device, and I can often make it 2 days before having to charge it. Keep in mind that the Pixel 6 is my secondary device. I put it to the test throughout a couple of weeks, and I found that I was getting a full day's battery life while using it before I needed to charge it.
The battery life is mediocre. My OnePlus 17, which is well over 2 years old, has better battery life than this thing. I have to recharge it in the middle of the day, which isn't the end of the world, but the fact that this is a brand new smartphone makes me worry about the future of this device.
I got the Pixel 6 in late November, and I was excited for the December patch. However, Google gets an F grade for the software updates on the Pixel 6. Google again missed the mark on software updates on the Pixel 6. Google released a software update in a rolling phase in December and then later pulled the update, leaving users in the dark. Google's communication was horrible, and it wasn't until MKBHD called them out for it they finally released the Pixel 6 update in late January. Keep in mind that some users even had issues making and receiving calls without the December patch. I hope Google will be more open with users in the future on the topics of software updates.
Now let's get into the bugs, and oh boy does this phone have them. First one, and the biggest issue for me, is the constant drop of cellular service. For normal people, this may not be an issue, but as someone whose wife has a medical condition and when I need to have my phone available and ready to go in case of an emergency, it's unreliable. In fact, during this review, I've had to start bringing my work phone with me just in case she needs to get a hold of me, which, by the way, is an iPhone. Now, Google did have an update that was supposed to fix this, but by the time it did hit my unit, I was already so done with this phone, and that's not the only software issue that I've encountered during my time using this phone. The stopwatch, which I typically use throughout the day, will jump numbers while on the lock screen. Toggling Wi-Fi requires going into settings and using a menu to change it, which is an Android 12 issue in general.
The Pixel 6 device is the best and worst device that Google has ever made, and I hope that Google will listen to its users' feedback and make changes to the next Pixel device. Google, you need to bring back Face Unlock. I will likely never upgrade to another Pixel device without this feature. Software updates are why you buy Pixel devices. You are a software company, and you should have better communication with your users, and you should fix significant software bug fixes in a timely manner.
These issues to me are huge when it comes to a phone. As much as I love Android, these make me want to stay far away from the Pixel. I may be critical of Google when it comes to this, but Google is a software company and can't seem to manage the software on their own flagship phone. Guys, I think my next phone is going to be an iPhone. That's not funny.
Edit out the it's not funny part and just leave it as is.